You've been praying over and over and over, and nothing is happening. We've been told through all the religions around the world and through the three Abrahamic religions that we should pray. But yet, when we pray, nothing happens. Then, what is the point of praying? Are we actually praying? The truth of the matter is this: we don't know much about prayer and how to actually pray in the correct way. And in this video, I'm going to tell you about it. So I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the video, because by the end of this video, you will have a complete idea about what prayer is and how to actually pray. Because this is the thing. Prayer, been mentioned in the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, the three Abrahamic religions. Most people know about prayer. Most people speak to God. They close their eyes and they pray. Or they do certain movements, which are good. You are connecting to the center. But there is one missing link, and that is the reason you don't see anything changing on the outside. When I was reading about Neville Goddard, and I read the book, Feeling is the Secret, I stumbled across something really important. He told us that the doorway to the subconscious can be accessed and can be unlocked by two things. You know that door? There is a doorway to it, and that is sleep and prayer. Neville Goddard's interpretation of prayer is fulfilling the idea of the desired reality into your inner being. So you can pray about having money. You can pray that, please God, I want money. But if your mind internally, you don't believe it, and you don't feel like you are deserving of that money, then it will not happen. And I know it's a hard pill to swallow, and I've been there and I've done that. And we are all trying to overcome a certain belief about certain things in our lives. But here's the thing. You need to internally embody the state of the wish fulfilled. Embody the state of being abundant, being free, being happy, being wealthy, being healthy. Because we all seen this before. We all seen people that are so sick to the point that you yourself would question, why is God doing that? He's not doing anything, and that is the harsh reality of it. God responds to our inner state of being. This is why when you see in the Quran there is a verse, I think it goes like this: God doesn't change the world of the people until they change their inner world. Or God doesn't change the circumstances of the people until they change what's being inside of them internally, the feelings and thoughts and beliefs that they have internally. This is why faith is so difficult to grasp by many people, because faith is faith in the unseen. Because let me tell you something, all what we are seeing here is less than 1%. The hidden reality is the real reality. This is not real. This is not real. This is why I tell you that you create your own reality. This is not a metaphor. This is a real thing. This is a fact. And a cat is a bit shifted, like its reality. The cat's got this reality a bit shifted. So we share a lot of things, but the reality of the cat is a bit shifted. So a cat can see certain beings, they can pet them, and they are materialized in their world. But to us, they are invisible. Same thing with a child. When a child is born, sometimes you can see the child looking at something and he's like interacting with it, because the five senses and the identity, the personality is not developed completely. So that child sees certain things that we don't see, because now we are trapped in the left brain hemisphere, the left brain mode, the left brain perspective, the analytical mind. This is why we do things like meditation, visualization, prayer in forms of maybe yoga. Some people will consider that praying. The Islamic tradition, they used the prayer with movements because that connects to the center. The Jewish are doing certain things that are similar to the Islamic traditions, or you can say whatever you want, but all the religions came from the same source. The interpretation can be different. And every time you read a book, every time you read, like for example, you read the Bible, you can catch a new perspective on a thing because you changed. So when you change, you see things differently. This is why I don't believe in one interpretation that this is the truth. No, this is not. This is the truth for him at this point of his life. But maybe when that person or that scholar grows up, he will look at it differently. This is why you should know things by yourself. You should ask, and it shall be given to you. And when you ask, here is what you do. You close your eyes, you imagine that you are the man or the woman that you want to be. You want money, and you are in a very difficult situation, and it's so hard for you to grasp the idea of being abundant. Just deny the evidence of the senses. And I know it sounds simple, but it doesn't mean that it's easy. Sometimes it can be really difficult to do. But do as Neville did. Neville was in the army. He wanted to get out. And he imagined himself for 9 days sleeping in his house with his wife and daughter next to them. And that was for 9 days. And on the 9th day, he actually got out of the army. So all you have to do is just conceptualize this idea that when you believe something, and believing is not like, when I see it, I will believe it. No, it's exactly the opposite. And I always talked about that. Maybe in like 2 or 3 videos, I will talk about what is actually believing is. Because we think that in order to believe something, we have to see it on the outer world. But if you experience it, like if you experience that thing internally, would you like to be like, is this even real? You experienced it. You won't look for it. This is the point about manifestation or getting your prayers answered, is experiencing it internally to the point that, hey, I experienced it. I'm not looking on the outer world to confirm what I experienced. And I know it can be hard when you are sick. I know it can be hard. This is why Neville was so big on like a state akin to sleep. Sleeping in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Because sometimes throughout the day, you'll be like, is this even working? But the most important time, and the thing that will get to the subconscious mind is, before you go to sleep, you are performing at alpha and theta brainwave states. Once you do it, bam, you go directly to the subconscious. Same with prayer. Prayer is internalizing this idea and embodying this idea that you are already what you want to be. You already have what you are praying for. This is why whatsoever you are asking or praying, believe that you already received it, and you will, and it will be given to you, sorry. So this is from the Bible. And I told you an example from the Quran. And I'm sure in the Torah there are many. In all the religions around the world, you will find it that it's telling you that if you want something, believe that you have it, and you will. And it's a hard pill to swallow, I know. It's a hard pill to swallow. How would you believe something that you don't see? How would you believe something when all the external reality is telling you the opposite? This is why faith is so important. So how do you pray? When you pray, all you have to do is just embody the state that you already have, what you are praying for. Because prayer can be verbal and non-verbal. And believe me, it's much more powerful to do it non-verbal. Or you can do both. You can internally embody the state that you want, and at the same time, you can emit the frequency of gratitude, like, thank you for showing me that this is already done. You can do it verbally or non-verbally. It all depends on your vibrational frequency. You are emitting a quality when you are at a certain level of frequency. When you are in a state of gratitude that it's already done, what do you think will happen? It will be done. It will be done. You will see the outer world is changing. But there is a trick. Sometimes you internalize or you embody that state internally to the point that you believe it. You know it. Like just when you open up your phone, you know that it will open up. Just when you close the door, you know that it's closed. Just when you put on the shoes, you got to shoes on. Your shoes is telling you, hey, I'm on. No, you know that it's on. And you go for running. You know all these things. This is the knowingness. Once you know that when you are praying for something and you are getting to that state that, hey, it's done, you are literally making the world around you change. And I'm not talking here like figuratively. No, literally you are changing the world around you. You are rearranging the structure of the world by your structure of your mind. So, here is the idea that I want you to conceptualize. When you are praying, please do me a favor and relax completely, just for a minute. When you do that, you are completely relaxed, your brainwaves are slowed down. Now, you can do one of two things. You can give gratitude for already receiving what you want, or you can ask yourself one question. How would I feel right now knowing that it's already an accomplished fact? Ask yourself these questions. How would I feel in this very moment? Not in the future, not in the past, the precious present moment. How would I feel knowing that it's done? How would I feel knowing that this job is mine, that this business is thriving and everything is good, that this car is already mine, that I'm already married to that person? When you ask yourself these questions, you will get the answers in forms of maybe an image, maybe a voice in your head, like somebody congratulating you, whatever form of, like in any shape or form, you will get an answer. When you get that answer, hold on to that feeling. Once you hold on to that feeling, make it a state of being. Remember that feeling. Internalize it. Make it a part of you, that it's already done. And it can be difficult sometimes. When you are in a crisis and you don't know what to do, you have a health problem, you have financial problem, don't go hard on yourself, but you should be disciplined. I'm speaking to adults right now, and most of you know that discipline is one of the most important things that you should be doing every day. You should become a new man, a new woman. You should be disciplined. You should be perseverant in what you are doing. This is what you should do. You shouldn't just take what I'm saying lightly, just go about your day and do nothing. And believe me, I've been there, I've done that. If you are stuck, go for a walk. Believe me, it will make the difference. Don't just sit down and do nothing and feel bad about yourself. Most of the good ideas that came to me throughout my life were when I was actually maybe running or walking. Sometimes I get ideas when I'm in a very good dream or in a good meditation, but most of the time it's when I'm actually engaging with nature, when I'm in the streets, when I'm walking, when I'm just not expecting it to happen, it happens. And it will happen to you. You know why? Because this is the last part of prayer. You let go of the ego. I always told you to let go and let God. I told you about that. But the truth of the matter is, you don't know what that even means. It means that you let go of the how, the why, the when, and paradoxically, when you let go of those, it happens so quickly. Because you are experiencing that internally. You already have it. You experienced it. So you won't care when, why, how. You won't ask these questions. You are letting go and letting God. And God is within you and all around you. There is nothing but God. God is all that is. There is nothing but God. God is all that is. The one is the all are the one. And by the universal resonance, when you are in a state of being, you are attracting everything that are on the same vibrational frequency. And once you do that, bam, everything in your life will change. Everything, and I mean everything. I know it can be a bit difficult, but I'm telling you, it is not. It is easy. It is easy to do once you master your own mind, once you know who you are, once you see yourself as somebody who got a lot of capabilities. Because you do. You do have a lot of capabilities. You have all these special talents within you, let's say that. But you don't believe in yourself and you don't trust yourself. You are insecure a little bit. I want you to be confident. Have faith equals to having confidence. This is why you see people are having a hard time having faith in God, because they don't believe in themselves. When you believe in yourself, you believe in God. When you believe that you can do it, you believe in the power of God. God is within you and all around you. And let me tell you something really quick. You ever noticed that when somebody is afraid of something, it happens? Why? Because he is emotionally invested in that thing to the point that he attracts all the bad things to happen in his life. I remember one time I was so afraid of something to happen, and it happened because I was so invested in it emotionally. With bad feelings, bad emotions, I was so afraid and it happened. And sometimes I was afraid of something and I just did let go of all the worry, all the fear, and I trusted. I trusted my inner being. I trusted in God. I just did let go and I let God. And nothing happened and it was good. Like nothing bad happened. Everything went all right. This is why most of the time when people say, hey, I've been praying for years, I give up. And they just get into the feeling of, you know what, I'm good. Like this feeling of acceptance or I'm good, either way, will actually make it manifest. And it did. So I witnessed people praying for years. And once they stop, they just like, you know what, I'm good. I'm done. I'm good. It manifested. It happened. Their prayers were answered. So keep that in mind. This is a bit of a talk between me and y'all. I hope you liked it, and I know you did. I know you got a lot from this video. And this is why I told you guys, sometimes you don't need fancy techniques. But techniques are good. They are vehicles to get you into the feeling state that you always wanted to be in and to stay therein. And this is why I made my ebook, because most of you were asking, what about this? What about that? What about this? So you know what? I'm going to publish that. It wasn't meant to be published, but now it is. You can find it in the link in the description box. It's a 26-page ebook, so it got all the info that we will ever need about techniques. But let me tell you something. And I told you this in the ebook, if you read it, you are the technique. So whatever vehicle you decide to go with, whether it's visualization, whether it's prayer, whether it's affirmations, just know that you are the one that will make it work. So that's it for today's video. Done.